Yo, what is up, everybody? It's MK420 here. So, yesterday, we had an emergency shop update video, which was dope because we got the movie skins. If you missed it, I showed them off, I reacted to them. I was pretty hyped in that video. But if you guys are liking the content, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good shit. Now, the reason why we're making this video is because yesterday the definitive edition was announced. And usually when a definitive edition of a game is announced, that usually means future support is usually dead. Now, I'm not saying MK1 was a great game, because it's not. It's far from it. It's not a bad game. I like the gameplay in this game a lot better than I did MK11. Do I wish we were still able to get a 1v1 mode and all of that, more offline modes, more online modes? Of course. And I think that's what really made and what was going to make or break this game was, look at MK11 for example. Look at all the offline content. There was the story mode. There was the Towers of Time. There was the Classic Tower. There was the Survive Tower. There was the Character Mastery Towers. That's just all offline. And the Crypt, and the story mode. Look at the online modes. We had rooms, we had ranked, we had casual King of the Hill, we had private King of the Hill, we had private ranked, we had private practice, we had, I believe we might even have a survivor King of the Hill. Actually, that was MKX, my bad. But just compared to MK1, I feel like a lot of features that should have been there, could have been there, but just weren't there. And who knows, maybe NetherRealm didn't have time, maybe WB told them not to add certain things. I don't know. But I'm curious to see what game is next. I mean, hopefully we get something, maybe maybe a few more small balance patches for this game, maybe a few more skins added. Because they could easily say, hey, MK11 Ermac, MK11 Cyrax Sector, MK9 Cyrax Sector skins, we have them ready, let's just throw them in there, 500 crystals apiece, people will buy them. You know, maybe a few small updates over time, maybe some balance stuff, some new moves, maybe here and there. I would love to see maybe a new stage or two, or a new variation of at least a stage. Make it, unlockable somehow so it gives us something to grind for. And that's the thing with this game. As much as I love MK... sorry about that, y'all, I'm yawning here. As much as I love this game, it's a grind. I mean, just to master one character from level 0 to level 35, it could take you anywhere from a few hours to a few days, depending on how much you play. Like, I remember, for example, when Omni-Man came out, I had him up to level 20 within the first 3 hours of release. After that, I could care less to play the character. You know what I'm saying? Once you beat the Towers of Time for the day, or for the hour, there's nothing else. Legacy Tower is empty. I've beaten all of that. I've gotten all the skins. I'm working on the Seasonal Tower. So far I've gotten a Geras skin, a Li Mei skin, a Rain skin, and a Shang skin so far from that. So that's good, those towers still give skins. But the modifiers are a bitch. And the fact that we have to fight anywhere from 3 to 4 mini-bosses at a time is, I will just be honest, NetherRealm, it's kind of fucking ridiculous. But I get it. It's a grind. They want us to grind for them skins. I understand. Now, could this game have benefited for more updates? Of course. More characters, more cameos, more stages, more online-offline modes, more accessibility. And that's a big thing that I'm also concerned about, is will the next game be accessible just like this? You know, this is the first ever blind accessible Mortal Kombat game. You know, when is this going to continue? Is this going to go into Injustice 3? If Injustice 3 is the next game, are we going to get the same accessibility and love shown for my blind players? If the next game is a sequel to this, or another Mortal Kombat game that, once again, restarts the franchise, or however they want to do it, will that game be accessible? Is it going to be an adventure spin-off game? Shaolin Monks 2.0? Is that gonna, you know what I mean? There's so many questions I have, and I understand NetherRealm makes promises. And Ed Boon once again came out. He said it in MK11. He said it here in MK1. Years of content. MK11 was released in April 2019. I remember the exact date it was released. I remember getting my copy 24 hours in advance because I had pre-ordered the premium edition. I remember that because it was right before I had graduated high school. That just goes to show how old I am. This game, MK11, had support from April 2019 till I would say about May of 2020. That's when the content stopped. And then we went a few months without hearing anything. October 2020, we get the final content, Rain Melina Rambo, and then we don't hear anything for the next 9 months. And then finally, here we are, July 2021, and then they announce MK11 no longer gets support. And it sucks, because NetherRealm isn't really known for the communication, but I have to give them props because somebody from NetherRealm did come out and say, listen, it's not up to us to release stuff to you guys. It's up to WB. They tell us what we're allowed to post, when we can post it, what we're allowed to work on, what we can't say, what we are. And that sucks, but thank God somebody had the balls to step up and give us clarification. So 2021 goes by. 2022 goes by. 2023, summer, we get the announcement, MK1, hype, September 2023, MK1 drops. Obviously, this game was rushed. You could tell day one. You could tell day one that this game has a great roster, cool stages, cool costumes, lacking in the customization department, lacking in some of the accessibility department, but that stuff could have been fixed with patches over time. And a lot of it was. Towers of Time was added with a patch. Accessibility for Towers of Time was added with a patch. You know, customizing skins. Customizing skins was inaccessible for blind people for the longest time. And that finally became accessible, I think, with the, I believe it was the Ermac update a year ago. But the point I'm trying to get is, regardless of the game is Injustice 2, not Injustice 2, Injustice 3, MK12, whatever's next, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna pre-order the premium edition. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna make videos on it. If it's Injustice, okay, whatever, we'll do it, but it's not my thing. I never really cared for Injustice. I was more of an MK guy. And if the game is a Mortal Kombat spin-off, RPG style, hey, as long as it's accessible and I can play it, I'll buy it. Same thing with Injustice 3. If they decide to make Injustice 3 like a create your own character, do your own little choose your adventure story type thing, I will pre-order it and play that bitch too. And I'm happy that NetherRealm had the guts to say, hey, we're not going to make you guys wait long. We know T1000 just came out 2 months ago. Here we are. Here's 6 new skins. 3,000 crystals for all 6 of them. I bought them. Check out the video yesterday if you haven't seen it already. So I appreciate the fact that NetherRealm is saying, hey, this game is done. On to the next. Now, could we be going back to the 2 years a new game comes out type cycle? We could. And we very well could, because it hasn't even been 2 years for MK1. It's only been 20 months. A year and 8 months. Now, a year from now, we could be talking about the reveal trailer for the next game. Regardless if it's Injustice 3 or whatever they call the next Mortal Kombat. Maybe we get it announced here in December. We get a trailer. It releases in April. DLC starts rolling out in either May or June of next year. We get support for that game all the way up until maybe January, December of 2027. The next game gets revealed and the cycle keeps repeating and NetherRealm just keeps pumping out the games. We keep buying them. We keep playing them. And if that's the formula they want to stick with, hey, every 2 years a new NetherRealm game, I'm cool with it. And it just sucks. It sucks that this game ended the way it did because I feel like with more updates, more moves, more skins, more gear customization, more accessibility, more offline online modes, how cool would it be, y'all? If we had an offline and online modes of chess combat, motor combat, puzzle combat, you know? You could play online with your friends. You could play offline with the AI. You could, hell, even have the AI fight it for you if you don't want to do it yourself. You know, there's so many things NetherRealm could have done, and if given the time, I'm sure they would have implemented some of these ideas. But people need to realize that when you're under a parent company that has deadlines, that has criteria they have to meet for a certain game or a certain time frame, they have to meet those requirements. And you can definitely tell MK1 needed, at least, in my opinion, they shouldn't have revealed it as early as they did. We should have gotten the reveal in like February 2024. Release it in October 2024, right before the 2024-2025 holiday season, because then the game would only have been out for about 7 months now, and the hype would still be there. I mean, this season alone, I logged on to Kombat League yesterday just to see how many people were playing. It said 6,600 people. So for people that are saying MK1 is dead, it's garbage, that's your opinion, that's fine. But there are people that still play Mortal Kombat just based off the name alone. It doesn't matter if you like the cameos. It don't matter if you like certain things about this game. Just because the name of the game is Mortal Kombat, people will buy it. Regardless if it's the standard edition, the premium edition, the definitive edition, one DLC character, or even all of them. It doesn't matter. The name of the game will help it sell. The people that are playing it casually, that grind towers of time on a daily like I do, that grind seasonal tower every season, that like to do invasions just because it's something to do, it's decent. Do I wish there was more? 100%. Is there less than what there should have been? Of course. Was there room and is there still room for improvement? Definitely. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get any more characters, because, like I said, when a definitive edition for a game usually gets released, that usually means that game is done, and the studio is already working on the next game. I mean, God knows, who knows? They could have been already working on the next game while they were releasing MK1. Because Ed Boon did say they have more than one pot burning on the stove right now. And that's a metaphor. We have more than one project in the works. Are they working on the next Injustice? I don't know. Are they working on the next Mortal Kombat? We don't know. Now, we still have a few more major MK tournaments that are going to happen over the summer and over the year that they could announce something at. You know, Summer Games, I believe EVO in August, and I think there's a few more, but I'm not sure. The Game Awards in December. So, I mean, anything's possible. Who knows? They could surprise us. They surprised us with Madame Bo when we got the T1000 update. No one knew she was coming until literally the day the game had to get updated. Or like a week before when the T1000 trailer dropped and we saw her in that trailer. Anything is possible. Could we just get maybe a few small balance updates, a few more skins, and then them right off into the sunset? Yes. Could they say, hey, here's like 3 more skins, here's 2 more main roster fighters, and 1 more cameo. It's all going to be part of a free update. Enjoy MK1. Possibly. Could this be the end and we not get anything? That's also a possibility. So there's many possibilities, but if you're a NetherRealm fan, we've been in this situation before. We know what it's like to wait for content, wait for updates, wait for anything. I mean, look what happened from May of 2020 until October 2020. That was only 5 months, but it felt like forever just to wait between the Aftermath expansion and the final Kombat pack for that game, which was the Rain Molina Rambo pack. We've been here before. It sucks. But instead of sitting here on Twitter and crying about it, the responsible, mature thing to do would just say, suck it up. And if you don't want to play MK, and if you're waiting for the next NetherRealm game and you have other games to go hold you over for the next few years until then, hey, that's awesome. I have a few other games that I have. I got Diablo 4. I got Spider-Man. I have Tekken 7. I have Street Fighter 6. I have MKX. I have Street Fighter 5. I have a whole bunch of other games I can go play if I ever get bored of MK1. Will I ever get bored of MK as a franchise? Fuck no. Never. I have loved this series since I was a 6-year-old kid. And that will never change. But we're at that time where we know this happens every game. It happened in MKX, happened in MK9, happened in MK11, and here we are, it's happening in Injustice 2, it happened in the first Injustice, it happened here in MK1, and that's that, hey, the game was alive for a while, it got updates, it got support, there was content dropping, now we're at the tail end of the life cycle. We might be lucky to get a few more skins, maybe a few more special moves added for characters, maybe 1 or 2 more giant balance patches. Who knows? They might have something in store for us. One more big send-off. Is it possible? 100%. Do I see it happening? I don't know. And that's the God's honest truth. But give me a second. I'm going to take a drink of water. There we go. Drinking some black cherry flavored water. And, it sucks, man. It really does suck to see the end of this game. You know, and if what Interloco and the Thinny said were true, we were supposed to get anywhere from 7 to 8 more DLC characters. So there was 8 slots discovered, Madame Bo was 1 slot. So we were supposed to get 7 more characters. What, 3 more cameos, 4 more main roster fighters? Or 4 more cameos, 3 more main roster fighters, however they wanted to do it. And I understand what people are saying. Oh, we still have hope because Ed Boon said that there was going to be years of content. But he also said that with MK11, and look what happened. Now, maybe they did have years and years of content planned. Like a roadmap. Kind of like how Tekken and Street Fighter do their roadmaps. And it's possible. Who knows? Maybe NetherRealm had something cooking. And WB saw something that they didn't like, and they came in and told NetherRealm shut that shit down. And everyone's saying it was Chaos Reigns. And the 2 big factors that I think didn't kill this game, but there's a list of things I'm going to list off that, in my opinion, killed this game. And then there's going to be a list of things I'm going to list off that I think saved this game. So let's start off with the stuff that I think saved this game. Every time I mention something, I'm gonna take a hit. And it's gonna be a blinker every single time. So, if you are of age and you do partake, you got it. Let's burn it together. Things that saved this game. Blind accessibility. Screen menu narration. All of that type of stuff. Customization options. Skins and gear, bringing that back from MK11. A roster full of characters that we haven't seen in years. 3D era characters. Towers of Time saved this game in my opinion. Yes, it's an offline mode, but it gave people to do besides grinding invasions. The Floyd fight, the secret Floyd fight, that brought back a lot of hype for this game. And you love to see it. Now that is just some of the things I think made this game stay alive as long as it did. And some of the DLC characters. I mean, people have been asking for Omni-Man and Homelander for DLC for a long time. I personally could care less for those characters, but the people that do love those shows and love those characters got their wish. So yes, did some of the DLC help save this game? Noob Saibot, Ghostface, T-1000 definitely, for sure. Now those are just my opinions. Now we're going to get into the list of shit that I think ruined this game, that killed the lifespan. $10 fatalities / microtransactions. Now, I understand you can get the currency in-game, but it's a grind. You only get 75 crystals a week. And once you have every character and cameo mastered up, that's it. You either have to keep grinding for 75 crystals a week, or you have to use real money and buy the currency to get what you want from the shop. Lack of online-offline modes. The only offline mode we had before Towers of Time was Invasions. The only online modes we have is Combat League, King of the Hill, and Casual. We don't have rooms. We have private versus. And we have crossplay, but look how long it took to have that stuff added. Too long. What's another thing, in my opinion, that ruined this game, and that I hope NetherRealm learns from in the future? The writing of story mode. The writing of some characters, the attitudes and personalities, the way certain characters behaved, I didn't like, and I'm sure a lot of people can agree. You know? Gender-bending two fan-beloved characters like Cyrax and Sector. People hated that. Me, personally, I'm cool with it. I don't care that Cyrax is a black girl and that Sector is an Asian girl. I could care less what genders they are. I could care less what race they are. I could care less if they have accents or not. But the fact that it was characters that people loved, and they did it with no explanation, and the only explanation we got was, oh, it's a new timeline, anything's possible. Lazy writing. They could have given us female Cyrax and Sector. And in the story mode, there could have been 2 young Linkoi ninjas that are inspired by female Cyrax and Sector, and let's say female Cyrax and Sector get killed in story mode, and these 2 young ninjas step up and take their names as a way to honor them, and they use their moves and all of that. That's how we could have gotten the male Cyrax and Sector. And if you wanted to make them premium skins with unique voices and everything, NetherRealm easily could have done that, because they've done it for Injustice 2 with characters like Black Lightning, Mr. Freeze, Jake Eric Flash, and so on. Grid for Cyborg, and so forth. There's a lot of things in this game that ruined it. There's a lot of things in this game that helped redeem it. And I'm really hoping NetherRealm looks at this, and I'm hoping WB, over the next however many years it takes for us to get a new game, says, okay, let's start listening to our fans, let's start communicating better, let's start being more positive, let's start giving people what they want. Now, if the next game is Injustice 3, I'm curious to see what happens. Because the guy James Gunn, the guy who's writing for the DC Universe movies now, I guess it was reported that he's already met with NetherRealm Studios for future plans. Now, that could be for animated DC movies, it could be for video games, a Batman Arkham game. I mean, we really don't know why he met with them. It could be a DC fighting game that's not Injustice that NetherRealm is making. I mean, I'm just going to sidetrack for a second. I'm a really big Godzilla fan, okay? Back in the day, we had Godzilla fighting games. What if NetherRealm was approached to make a Godzilla-like fighting game? Or what if they were approached to make a horror fighting game like Terrordrome? Or what if WB said, hey, let's make Mortal Kombat vs. DC 2? We really don't know what's next. There's teases, there's theories, and sure, everybody's allowed to have an opinion, and that's great. Am I glad MK1 is over? For me personally, it's bittersweet. On one hand, I'm glad it's done because I'm excited for what's next. But on the other hand, I'm kind of sad because it tells me that this game is no longer be getting updates, no longer be getting content. And on one hand, like I said, it's happy, but on the other, it's sad. You know, I based my channel off of Mortal Kombat. Off of Mortal Kombat 1. You know, some of my highest video that I have is me ranking all the skins, and that has over, I think, almost 340 views. And I'm proud of that video. I'm proud of every MK1 video I make, regardless if it's me rage quitting against the Titan battles, or me playing Combat League, or the little live streams I've done, or me fighting my cousin. Shout out to my boy Sticky Blunt. Regardless of what Mortal Kombat type of content I brought to you guys, I was happy that I was able to make that. That's awesome for me. I could care less about getting paid. I could care less about all of it. As long as the people that love my channel keep coming back and watching Mortal Kombat 1 or just any NetherRealm game content, I'll keep making it. Regardless if it's Mortal Kombat or Injustice. So on one hand, like I said, I'm glad this game is done. I'm excited to see what's next. But on the other hand, I wish this game could have had more life, at least another 2.5 years pumped into it, because you could see the potential. You could see it. And if you think I'm wrong, you need to take a hit of whatever the fuck you have, and you need to sit back and you really need to just have an open mind. And it doesn't help when we have YouTubers like Fate, not Fate Unknown, but he knows who he is, that Australian fucker, sitting out here discrediting MK1 at every opportunity, all because it doesn't play the way he wants. You're going to have people that are going to hate on this game and hate on everything NetherRealm does, no matter what they do, regardless if it's good or bad. Same thing in the Tekken community, same thing in the Street Fighter community, same thing in the Guilty Gear community, the Fatal Fury community, the Call of Duty community. It doesn't matter what game community. You're going to have fans that are going to love it. You're going to have fans that are going to hate it. And you're going to have fans that are like me, who are diehards, but are also in the middle. So, this is my message to all those negative creators. Stop it. There's no need. We get your point. Let's just move on. Alright? And for developers, we're excited for what's next. We're sorry you couldn't finish this game the way you planned. Hopefully, you're able to do more with the next project than you were with this one. Hopefully there's more accessibility, more characters, more offline-online modes, more customization, more DLC, more expansions, more free updates, more free content and updates, more special limited events, everything. But it's all up to NetherRealm and it's all up to WB at this point. NetherRealm has to do the work, but WB has to give permission. So, if anyone from WB watches this or happens to stumble across it, please take everything I've said in this video into consideration. And I know my voice isn't very meaningful. I'm a channel with less than 100 subscribers. My opinion when it comes to fighting games in the fighting game community means nothing. My voice is low. But if someone does take the time to hear what I had to say today and share it and maybe take it as constructive criticism, I really hope so. Because I have so many ideas that could have helped this game. So many ideas for a future game, regardless if it's MK or Injustice or a whole new title in general. It's bittersweet, folks. It really, really is bittersweet. And for the people who had good memories with this game, great. If you've had bad memories, I'm sorry to hear that. I've had a mixture of both. There's been times I've played this game grinding invasions or a tower where I just wanted to sit the controller down and not play anymore because I was so just drained. And then there's been other times where I've been grinding for something and I'm like, yes, I'm in the zone, I'm locked in, my combos are on point, I'm kicking ass, I'm having fun. And regardless of what's next, I'm really hoping that NetherRealm and WB, like I said, they take their time, they listen to the feedback, they listen to the constructive criticism, regardless if it's negative YouTube creators, or if it's positive YouTube creators that are shills, and I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are. I'm just someone who's passionate about a franchise that I've loved for years, and I want to see it succeed. That's all I want. So WB, NetherRealm, I only have two things to ask of you for the next game, regardless of what it is. Please keep improving accessibility, because us disabled gamers should have the ability to play your game. Because, remember, we're not handicapped. We're handy-capable. If you give us the tools to be able to play your game, we will play it. And the next thing I have to say, please... Okay, two more things. Please listen to your fan base more. And please communicate. Please communicate better. Because it truly does suck going anywhere from 3 to 6 months, possibly to over a year, without no communication, being left in the dark. So, if you guys can learn from all of this in the future moving forward, it would be great. It would be helpful and it would be awesome. But I'm going to take a final hit, give my final little last few thoughts real quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. Alright. That cart is officially empty. We'll have to put on another one here in a minute. But I love you guys. And like I said, regardless of what's next, I'll be covering it here on the MK420 YouTube channel. And regardless if it's Injustice 3 or MK2 or whatever they call it, MK12, MK13, whatever, if y'all just want a good channel to watch, just listen to a stoned blind man be passionate about another NetherRealm game, hey, this is the place for you. You know? So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that little button. If you haven't pressed like yet, hey, do your boy a solid and hit that little like button, man. It doesn't do very much, but it does go a long way in helping us fight off that titan boss known as algorithm. Alright? And if we can do that, we can grow this community and be able to have, you know, because that's mainly what I want, is to just grow this channel, grow the community, you know, and just make this a safe space. You know, so just remember, everybody, all are welcome. And if you never feel like you belonged anywhere, you always got a spot here at the MK420 channel, man. Pull up a chair, crack open a cold one, listen to some good vibing music. If you partake in the smoking of the special herbs, please partake. If you partake in the drinking, make sure you drink responsible. And if you're willing to have a civilized discussion, hey, I'm all yours for it. I'm sure other people in this community are too. And just remember, y'all, be safe to yourselves, one another, respect one another, respect yourselves, no matter what, somewhere out there, whatever you believe in, God, Allah, Buddha, whatever you want to call him, someone's out there, or something, depending on what you believe, is out there. And it's looking over you, and it's making sure it's helping you do the best you can. Don't ever forget that. But my final thoughts to NetherRealm, thank you for Mortal Kombat 1. Thank you for the good memories. It sucks this game is dead now. Not dead now, but finished. But on one hand, it's a blessing in disguise. I'm personally excited to see what's next. And like I said, if anybody from WB or NetherRealm does happen across this, please take what I said into consideration. Go back and listen to all the bullet points that I made and understand, hopefully try and understand why I said those things. It's all constructive criticism. I hope I don't ruffle any feathers or hurt anyone's feelings. And if you disagree, hey, it's cool. Put down in the comments what you disagree with and I'll try to reply. We can maybe have a conversation. And if they don't take anything I have to say into consideration, that's fine as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Those are just my thoughts. The content for MK1, the shop update, all that stuff, that's still going to continue. All the way up until the next game gets released. So, that's that. But with that being said, I'm MK420, you guys, if you don't already know. And here, it's all about good times and good vibes. So we're going to take one more hit for the road. We're going to hop up out of here. Alright, everybody. I'll see you all beautiful people in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace out. Take care.
Pellets.